It's just all about love and life and living in freedom. That's what it's all about for me now.
Welcome to the Rich Spinster podcast. This is Alexis. And listen, this weekend, it had me juiced, you guys. This weekend had me completely juiced because millions of people, and I think they estimated 7 million people, spoke with one voice this weekend in the streets of America. And that voice said, "You got us completely fucked up." It was, you guys, it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see people in every small town, in large cities, out there saying, "You got us completely fucked up. If you think we are going to be silent while this country is destroyed by a wannabe king, yo." It was everything. There were so many clips that I saw online that just really inspired me, from the wonderful signs that were hilarious to seeing these three Latino women in a high rise, and they were recording the crowd and blessing the crowd, and everyone was waving to them. When I saw footage from this weekend, I was like, okay, yeah, we're a lot of things in this country, right? There are a lot of things that we are in this country, good and bad. But this is who the fuck we are. When I saw people protesting and screaming and saying they're not taking this bullshit, it juiced me. It juiced me. And I think what it really did too, for so many people, I think so many people needed this weekend to feel a little less alone. Because depending on where you are in this country, you may feel as though you are living in a little bubble, and that you were the only person in your friend circle, or the only person that you really know who feels the way that you feel. But that's not true. As we have seen by this weekend, we are in the majority. I know it feels that everybody has lost their damn minds, but we are actually in the majority. People of conscience in this country are in the majority, and it's time that we fucking act like it. It's also time that these dinos, these damn Democrats in name only, these dinos get with the fucking program and understand that we're not accepting a passive Democratic Party anymore. We're not accepting that work across the aisle bullshit that Democrats have tried to do for decades and have failed to stop this from happening. Just as we want to see change in this country, we also want to see change within the party. Stop fucking around. Stop being cowards. And those dinos, well, they're going the way of the dinosaur. Get with the program, Democrats. Your base is fueled. Your base is angry. Your base is ready for action. Your base is tired of you being passive. Your base feels that you got us fucked up too. So this weekend, I think, gave people what they really needed, and that's hope. And hope will never die. So, shout out to everybody who was out there in the streets this weekend. It was celebratory, it was full of righteous rage. It was beautiful to see, and I frankly want to see more of it. I want to see people act with the urgency and the anger that this moment deserves. Because it's code red around this bitch. Okay, it is code red around here. My friend Stephanie, I didn't actually see it myself, but I've seen reports of it, and I thought, like, America is not a serious place if this has happened. She was saying that there was some AI video of the presidential fuckboy dropping shit on protesters. So, the president of the United States put a video out, an AI video of him dropping caca on protesters? America's not a serious place. I don't know how everyone is not embarrassed by that. Ugh, how far we have fallen as a nation. This is your guy, though? The doo doo dropper? This is your guy? That guy. Okay. Listen, this is what apathy and ignorance gets you. It gets you all fucked up. This country literally failed an open book exam. And Mr. Drop Doodoo on him is sitting in the Oval Office. Okay. Also, I just want to say Caroline Levitt, the White House press secretary, listen up, Cuntzilla. You wouldn't be shit if it weren't for the role that you are in right now. Wait till you're out of this role and see what they do with you. You're going to be the first that they turn on. Why? Because you're a woman, twat. Have y'all just seen the moments that she has had as press secretary? Oh my gosh, the way people act when they have just a little bit of power is frightening. The press secretary of the United States was asked who chose Hungary for the meeting with Trump and Putin. And do you know what she said? Your mom. Bitch, are you 12? Every day. Every day I'm thinking, are we what? Listen, this morning I was watching such a great interview, and I have to give a shout out to the Breakfast Club for this particular interview with Gucci Mane and Keisha Kayor. He was promoting his book called Episodes, where he talks about his mental health battle and what he has done to take care of his mental health. And I thought the conversation was so profound. It was profound because these are conversations rarely had in the Black community. It was profound because this is somebody who wrote unabashedly about his journey through that, wrote about the things that a lot of people would find embarrassing. And he's this I think is Gucci Mane's legacy, because people talk about him being a pioneer in rap music and being an icon in the culture. But what he is doing for the culture right now with his transparency about his mental health will transcend just hip hop. It will also change lives. It will change the lives of many Black men and many Black families who are dealing with people who are in the throes of mental illness. You know, when you know people or have someone in your family who has mental health issues, oftentimes people ignore it. They try to love them through it. And what that interview showed was that you can't just love someone through it in the ways that people think of loving, right? You can't support their bullshit. You can't just go along with the stuff. You have to have boundaries. You have to take care of yourself. And I love the fact that he talked about like mental illness is not an excuse for you not taking accountability for your actions. That mental illness is much like any other illness. It has to be managed, just like some people need to take aspirin every day. Some people need to take mental health medication every day. And he talked about just the pairing of mental health counseling with his medication and how absolutely necessary it is, and how that has been the thing that has allowed him to continue on this cycle of healing. You guys, it was such a great interview. So if you can, definitely catch that on YouTube. You know, when I think of mental health and I think about its impact and the role it plays in our communities specifically, I think about when I was a little kid. When I was a little kid, there was a guy who used to walk up and down the street of our town. They called him Whistling Pete, and he would be whistling at the cars that drove by, and then he'd be patting his ass at the cars that drove by, and then he'd be listening to a radio that had no batteries in it, and everyone just knew him as Whistling Pete. And I was thinking about this as I was listening to the Gucci Mane interview. I don't know anything about Pete or his family or his journey, but I wonder if he ever got help. I wonder if anybody ever tried to get him services. I wonder if he ever was on medication. I wonder if that was even something that was plausible for him in his situation. I wondered where he lived. I was just used to seeing him every morning as I was driven to school. There's Pete, patting his ass at the car. And I think a lot of people can relate to that, especially in our communities, that we have people that we know are walking around sick. They're walking around sick, full of depression, full of anxiety, full of mania, full of schizophrenia. And help is looked at as something to be ashamed of. Needing help is not something to be ashamed of. And so it was just really beautiful to see someone like Gucci Mane, who comes from so much trauma, to see his evolution and to see him have hope and a light in his eyes for the future. Man, that shit was so beautiful. It brought tears to my eyes. No, it brought tears to my eyes. Speaking of mental health and the things that we need to do to take care of ourselves, listen, you guys, I mentioned last episode that my aunt passed away, and her service was this weekend on Saturday in Florida. And I struggled with the idea of going. You all, I did not want to go. I did not want to go to her service. And it wasn't me trying to avoid the reality of this moment, but it was really me trying to hold on to what I know we still have. And I kept asking myself, why would I go to this service? She's not there. Why would I go to this service when everything we were to each other remained so? Why would I go to this service when our experiences and our conversations are still with me? What is the point of me going to this service? And I went back and forth about it over and over again in my mind. And finally, I made a decision to not go to her memorial service. And once I made that decision, you all, it felt peaceful. My spirit felt peaceful. And I thought to myself, I am never in my life going to another funeral. I'm not going. And I have never been one to attend services anyway. I haven't been to a lot of funerals, and and that's on purpose because I do feel that a funeral or memorial service, whatever it may be, is not really for the person. It's for the grieving, and I don't choose to grieve that way. I want to remember people the way they were. I want to hold on to those conversations and to that laughter, to those jokes, to I want to hold on to the last time I saw them smiling at me. That's what I want. And that's what I'm going to do for myself and for my own peace and mental health. And I just wanted to share that because I know if that's something, I know that people put a lot on services. They put a lot on funerals and it means a lot to some people, but it's okay if it doesn't mean anything to you. It's okay. Unless you feel as though there's someone there who's depending on you and needs you to lean on, and you want to sacrifice for that person. But if not, take care of yourself because everything you all were to each other, you still are. I will tell you guys something funny that happened. So, my niece Mia FaceTimes me almost every morning, usually on her way to school. But she FaceTimes me every morning. We talk about whatever's going on in her world. And my niece has a gorgeous voice. Absolutely my favorite singer. Her voice is just beautiful, especially for a 17-year-old. I just cannot imagine what she's going to sound like as she matures. So we were on FaceTime and Mia was singing. And I said, if I had a voice like yours, girl, I would never shut up. And Mia responded with, you don't shut up now. Now, why would she fry me like that? What is, listen, these kids are different. The kids growing up now, these teenagers, they are different. I don't know what they were fed. I don't know what was in the formula. I don't know if more of them needed to be breastfed. I don't know if it's McDonald's. I don't know what it is, but they are walking the line of crazy. And the reason I say walking the line of crazy is because when she said that in that moment, I had to pause. Okay. I had to pause and think about how I was going to respond to her crazy ass. I love my niece. I do. I absolutely love my niece. But she fried me for no damn reason, y'all. For no damn reason. She just had time that day. She just had time. And do you know what her response was when I was like, why would you fry me like that? She was just like, but the opening was right there. So the door was open and you thought you were just going to walk the fuck through it? That's what she did. So that makes me think of parents and parenting. Listen, I love being an aunt. Being an aunt has been so fun for me because you get all the love and none of the responsibility. You get to be cool. You get to be funny. You get to be inappropriate. Like my niece one time was complaining about a friend of hers, and I know that her parents would have probably responded with, oh, have more patience, give her another chance, maybe don't talk to her anymore. You know what I said? I told my niece, fuck her. That is the beauty of being an aunt. My niece Diamond has a newborn who I also see on FaceTime almost every day. And the way her newborn daughter, who's just a month old, sits and looks in judgment lets me know she's going to say some shit. Listen, I'm already prepared for whatever it is that she's going to say to me when she's 3. I remember being a kid seeing some really fucked up shit. So my grandparents had a friend. This is terrible. My grandparents had a friend who had something wrong with his eye. I don't know if it was like a cock eye or something, but I just know one eye looked different from the other eye. I don't know what the condition was, okay? But I noticed it. I never said anything about it, right? And so they used to I didn't know that they would call him this behind his back, but like my grandfather referred to him as Eagle Eye. I don't know why he called him Eagle Eye. But yeah, so he called him Eagle Eye. And so one day we went to his home. We stopped by his home, and this was a good friend of my dad's. Okay. They were really good friends. And so when he walked outside, I said, hey, Eagle Eye. My dad said, all he could do was put his head down, like, no, this girl didn't. I didn't know. Okay. I did not know what I was supposed to say and what I was not supposed to say. All I knew that Eagle Eye was walking up. Okay. And that's what the fuck I called him. I don't know. Kids, it wasn't there a show, Kids Say the Darndest Thing? I think that show should be revamped. Kids Say Fucked Up Things. That's what it should be called. Netflix, hit me up. I got a hit for you. Has a kid ever said something really fucked up to you? Comment down below. I want to know. Have you been fried by a toddler? Let me know what that toddler said. They're vicious. They should be put on some kind of watch list or something. Everybody from the age of 3 to 8 needs to be on some sort of watch list. I remember I was probably like 5 or 6, very young. And I had never seen someone with teeth that really protruded like really far out. It was like her gums were sticking out, her teeth were sticking out. She looked like a horse. She looked like a horse. And when she smiled, those lips pulled back and then those gums stuck out. And I was just looking at her teeth. I'll never forget being in the grocery store with my grandfather. And I remember looking at her teeth, and I was looking, and she looked at me and she smiled. And I was like, how did you do that? And she was like, how did I do what? How did you make yourself look like a horse? I'm so sorry to that woman. I mean, I could have asked my grandfather, but I guess I just wanted to get it from the horse's mouth. So I asked that lady. It was terrible. I still feel bad about that. It's fucked up. It's fucked up. Fuck children. It's terrible. But parents, I don't know how you do it because y'all got a job. And so I marvel at particularly mothers who do the job of mothering so well. Like when I see women out in public and they have one on the hip and then they're pushing one in the stroller, and then you have another one that you keep having to tell to do X, Y, and Z so that they don't wander off too far in the store. And that woman looks well rested and she's dressed and the kids are dressed and everyone's clean and looks relatively happy. I marvel at that sort of superhero type strength. That's impressive. But what I really marvel at is that people have a child. This is why I know some of us were meant to have children and some of us not so much. I look at women who have one child, knowing all of the work and energy it takes to raise one child. And these bad bitches have multiples. Like, what? You got more than one kid. Like, you made the choice to have more than one child? Why would you make that choice? That's why I know motherhood for many women is a calling. And we need more good mothers out there in the world. So, shout out to all the mamas out there who are doing the damn thing. As a child free woman, when I'm around children for an extended period of time, I am absolutely exhausted. But that baby stage, that toddler stage, that tantrum stage, I mean, some of y'all still having tantrums and you're 40. So I guess for some people that never stops. That's another thing. Emotional regulation. Listen, a lot of people do not have emotional regulation and they're around here acting like toddlers. I cannot scroll on Instagram anymore. I realized recently the amount of anxiety it gives me seeing people crash out at restaurants, seeing people crash out in traffic or at appointments, crashing out at the doctor's office. Why are you not regulated better than that emotionally? I have never in my life gone anywhere and had a tantrum. Like, never. I've been frustrated, but I'm able to express my frustration without stomping my feet, without jumping on tables and flipping over stuff. Like, who raised you that you go into a Popeyes and literally start throwing chicken? Who raised you? And like part of me thinks that people are acting this way because they want to be viewed on social media. They want to go viral. But what a thing to go viral for. You're the chicken thrower, bitch. People are not well out there. They're stressed and they are just holding on to their sanity. And not getting a straw just sets them up. I don't understand that. I know we all have different lines, but like that line is so far from being okay. And I get it. Not getting your straw at the restaurant can be frustrating. You've gone through the drive-through, you're tired, you had a long day at work, and all you wanted was that Sprite from McDonald's that's gonna burn your fucking throat. You've been thinking about it all day. You've been thinking about how that is going to make you forget how much you hate your goddamn job, how much you don't want to go home to cook for those kids, how you're tired, how your bank account is dwindling, how you really just want to be on an island somewhere reading a fucking book. Instead, though, you're in the McDonald's drive-thru waiting on that Sprite. You get that Sprite in your hand, you order your fucking McNuggets, and you drive the fuck off thinking that the napkins and the straw are in your bag. And then you reach in that damn bag and there is no straw. Not only is there no straw, there's no barbecue sauce for your McNuggets. Now, I feel like an emotionally healthy person would maybe just curse in that moment. Fuck, bitch, where's my fucking straw? Right? But these people are turning around. They're going in McDonald's. They are jumping up and down, cursing people out, screaming, yelling. Meanwhile, the ice is melting in that goddamn Sprite. So by the time you get back in your car and put that straw in that Sprite you've been waiting all goddamn day for, it doesn't hit the same. Now you're really mad. What? People are not okay out there, you guys. Before I sign off this week, I really want to say thank you to people who have given me so much support when it comes to this podcast. I've said before, this podcast is a labor of love for me. It's something that I've thought about doing for a while. It is purely for my enjoyment, it's purely for my expression. But I've received so much positive feedback from this podcast. So many people have shared clips of this podcast, have subscribed to me on Instagram at Rich Spinster. And it just means a lot to have something that is important to me and fun for me being appreciated by so many people. I want to give a special shout out to Nikki Pollard, who has listened to the podcast, has been so complimentary, who has shared it. And I really appreciate the support of everyone, and especially people who have shared it. It really means a lot to me. And I wanted to just take this time to acknowledge it. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Rich Spinster podcast. You can catch the podcast on YouTube, Spotify, iHeart, and Apple Podcasts. Have a wonderful week, everyone. I'll talk to you soon.